They came to Indonesia in hope they could start a new life in Australia, New Zealand or Canada, but many say they are now stranded. Mahomed DAWOOD fled the war in Afghanistan in 2015. He and his family live in this makeshift shelter without water, electricity or basic sanitation and little food.
If I had money, we wouldn't have come here. My wife has been sick 3 times. She got dengue fever and was in hospital for 5 days. She needs better nutrition. I have no money to buy better food.
Mahomed is one of 400 refugees sharing this small space in Kalideres in West Jakarta. Up to 26 men live in this room, using cardboard boxes and plastic sheets to make the floor more comfortable to sleep on. Unable to work or study, they sit and wait for transit papers or permanent assistance. But as conflicts in Africa and the Middle East continue, frustration levels are rising. The refugees have been demonstrating in front of the UN Refugee Agency for the past several weeks. Many of them have come from Afghanistan, Pakistan, Sudan, Eritrea, Somalia and Iraq.
We want justice! Justice! Justice!
Many blame the authorities for not doing enough.
If you're not protecting us, then what are you doing here? You are supposed to protect all the refugees, treating them equally.
Indonesia is home to 14,000 refugees and asylum seekers, but is not a signatory to the UN Refugee Convention, which means it only acts as a transit country. But the Australian government has tightened its borders to refugees from Indonesia and cut its international funding to migrants. The UN Refugee Agency says chances for resettlement are limited.
Direct assistance isn't going to be the answer because everyone needs to be able to have the tools to take care of themselves, and this is why we're working with the government of Indonesia here to try to find ways under the Indonesian laws for refugees to have the ability to take care of themselves so they don't always have to depend on handouts.
Rights groups saying no single group is responsible for the backlog.
What I think is very important now in order to solve the situation is actually bring all the parties together, civil society, business sectors, and also government agency, as well as the refugee participate.
The refugees want their voices heard. Having come this far, they say it's their only hope. Raheela, Mahomed, Al Jazeera, Jakarta.